Hello, my friends. This is the promised review of the 2022 Tesla Model 3 that we rented in Myrtle Beach. We named the car Timmy. Timmy the Tesla just seemed reasonable. And here are my first driving impressions of the car. We're starting out. There was a little dew the first morning. This was Wednesday morning, and we were going out to breakfast. And this highlights the first, if any, of just few beefs that I have with the car. It's got a terrible turning radius. It's like driving a Suburban, uh, but the car is only the size of a Corolla. So you get the big car experience out of a smaller car. It feels very heavy and stable on the road. I like that quite a bit, and the seats are very comfortable. Uh, Once you get used to the turning radius problems, I never really got completely used to it. I just had not a lot of confidence in my ability to judge where the car is going to be. I'm sure that would have uh, settled out if I'd had the car a little bit longer. As it is, we only had it for 3 full days. So this morning is our first foray out as I'm learning to drive the car. Uh, Mentioned that it's a heavy, very stable feeling car, and it gave me a lot of comfort. You kind of feel like you're driving a real steady, stable car, and very eerily quiet as it's going along because obviously you don't have an engine doing its thing. So it almost like driving a video game. Although you do get a little bit of the road vibration and things like that, and you're seeing the road go by, but it was a real shock to me as never having driven an electric car to touch the pedal a little bit and just have it go past. Uh, was something that took quite a bit of getting used to the first day or so. This car can accelerate like you wouldn't believe. It's got incredible acceleration. I have a Corvette here at home, and this Tesla could blow my doors off. I wouldn't have a chance. It was pretty warm while we were at Myrtle Beach, and the car has a very able air conditioning system, which seems to run all the time, or at least that's what it seemed like, because we would take this car to the restaurant or go to a shopping center or something, come back to the car, and it sounded like the air conditioner was running. There was some kind of a pump or some kind of fans going, and never got super hot in the car. You could feel the heat radiating off the glass roof on top of your head, but it never got super hot in there. That was really nice. Uh, in the 3.5 days we had the car, I never learned how to engage the cruise control, and that uh, wasn't really a problem because it's pretty easy to hold a steady speed with the car. I had a tendency to drive more slowly with the car because I just didn't have confidence with it. And I'm sure if I had it for more than a few days, I would have gained a lot more confidence in particularly the turning radius. Uh, that would have been that would have been ideal. I noticed, or thinking about it, the big turning radius could large be because it had really big wheels on it, and but narrow. If you looked at it, the wheel wells are kind of shallow, so it doesn't allow the wheels to turn like one would expect. Uh, and when you rent one of these, be aware that the hubcaps or the edges of outside of the wheel sits proud of the tire, so it's easy to, if you get too close to a curb, it's going to reach out and try to grab a curb, and it's easy to curb the tires. I did once on Wednesday night. We went to the fireworks at the boardwalk, and in the parking lot. It might be a North Carolina thing, or it could just be that I was having was trying to judge where I'm parking, but it seems the curb next to the car, because I parked next to the curb, so I would only have to worry about one side, uh, seemed to extend quite a bit further forward of where I'm used to. So I touched the curb a little bit, feel kind of bad about that. Backing up, uh, once again, getting used to the car, had a little trouble being smooth about how to backing into a parking space because as soon as you let up on the gas, it stops. It doesn't coast like a car that you'd be used to. But not in all a bad thing. Uh, the navigation system gave us some trouble the very first night. You have to be super concise about telling it where you want to go, or it could send you off, and it did it to us twice, on a merry journey, just, I don't know, sending you out into the wilderness somewhere. We were in the southern part of Myrtle Beach, about a mile and a half from, was it Broadway at the beach? And I asked it to take us there the night before, Tuesday night when we arrived in Myrtle Beach. There was fireworks, and I wanted to see fireworks there. Uh, when I told it where I wanted him to go, uh, it sent us just west into the country about 15 miles before we realized that it was taking us nowhere near where we wanted to be. So I turned around and we called it a bad deal. Had dinner at a Bojangles and just went back to the hotel and called it a night. And figured I'd just use maps, at least until we figured out how to work the navigation system. I did bring a GPS with me, so the first day that's what we used until we got used to that. Did I mention this thing accelerates like a bat out of hell? It's amazing. I liked that very much, and the seats were super comfortable. I liked that quite a bit too. Uh, the interior, I wish I had filmed more of the interior of the car. What you're seeing here is a view out the windshield, and you see the just you can see part of the dash there. And the only really a big feature of the interior, you have this big dash and smooth, and the only thing is just a big display that in the middle, and it gave a feeling of a lot of space, and it was very relaxing and nice to drive in. I like that very much. This is kind of halfway through the trip to our breakfast. We went to a pancake place close to the boardwalk. We thought that would be kind of fun. This was on our way up north to Calabash, which is where we wanted to have lunch. They're famous for their seafood, so we wanted to make our way up there and just kind of view the country. One thing we did notice, our particular car may have had some trouble with it because it seemed to eat up gas or whatever you call it. It got terrible electric mileage. We drove the car 174 miles total for our trip, and had to fill it back up or charge it back up 3 times. Uh, I let it get down to 20% before I took it to a supercharger, which were amazingly fast. Pretty much no matter where it was in the state of charge, it took half an hour and it took it pretty much up to 100%. We were pretty happy with that. We tried to find some non-Tesla chargers just to see what that was like, because this was an extended kind of a test drive to see how we would like and if this car would fit into our lifestyle. We did find some, well, the map showed chargers, but we were never able to actually find them. Could also be Timmy's GPS system. I never quite got used to it. Oh, yes, here we're running up into the. There was a country music show there in Myrtle Beach, and they had blocked off a couple of blocks. So we turned, and then we headed north on. This is 17, uh, and we came up to Mammy's restaurant, which is where we decided to have breakfast. And that's where we parked our first thing. And I didn't have confidence enough yet to back into a parking space, so I pulled straight in. Later that night, we came back to the same lot, and I parked in this very same spot. And backing out, that's where I curbed the tire on that curb. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. This is a great car, and if you do rent one, I hope you enjoy it and give your thoughts or what you think I should have done differently. Uh, Thank you so much for having a look with me, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.